It's that time of the week, that time of the hour. Welcome back for another brand new episode of the Beyond Position podcast with two of your favorite most co-hosts in the entire world. Myself, Eduardo, my boy Brett. Brett's out of the mix on this one. Schedule conflicts, but hey, it's all good. We'll continue next weekend. We'll be back at La Casa. But today, me and my boy, we decided to plug in and we're in the Matrix now. So, we did the whole thing where we plugged it in the back of our heads and here we are. This is our actual avatars, a step ahead from what Mark Zuckerberg did with his little stupid preview for Meta, which is freaking like child's play compared to what Elon Musk is doing. So we're using Elon Musk's technology on this one. So thank you, Elon. This is how we're in.
And the white rhino is in the building.
Yeah.
So I can see you're doing pretty good over there, brother. You having fun over there?
Oh yeah. Yeah. This is how we're doing over here today on the Beyond Expectation podcast. Yeah, baby. We are in it. We are back.
Oh, dude, it feels good. It feels good.
Take that.
Take Oh, today's gonna be a good one, man. Today's gonna be a good one. But I'm glad, but brother. I mean, before we embark on this craziness, like we always do, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good, man. I'm in my red, white, and blue. These colors don't run, and yeah.
Oh, that looked pretty. That looked pretty weird from my angle, actually. There we go, like that.
Well, I didn't like how long you had the hand held out.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I had to redo it. That's why. I was like, that looks kind of sketch from my
hand was held out a little too long, bro. 9.
Okay, definitely got to do it. So definitely, but we definitely want to say thank you to the troops who served before we start this podcast. You're giving us the privilege to obviously speak our, whatever we want to say, the freedom of speech. You know what I'm saying? It's so important that one thing that we definitely, I don't say we take for granted, but we also need to remind ourselves, that's the joy of being here in the US. We get to do this type of stuff, right? Talk about whatever it is that we want here on this podcast, where we're just so random with it, right? But we do it just for the fun purposes, right? Just to kind of like discuss with whatever's going on here in this crazy world, pop culture wise, music, technology, all that jazz. But just having the freedom to just talk about whatever, right? So definitely, thank you for the troops. And yeah, we're celebrating here in more day. We're recording this the day before here on the 26th. So yeah, just wanted to say that too, first and foremost as well.
Yeah, air horn for the troops.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. We need some fireworks too. We need them just like going off in the background. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, just listen to some news cuts from the Ukraine-Russia war. You'll get plenty of that. Maybe get a couple of drones in there. Or Israel, Gaza, pop it over there.
So let's jump right into it though. This is something crazy that I was actually listening to on a podcast because I like to listen to different podcasts as well. I like to kind of just hear the multiple perspectives, but it's just about anything, right? Just the randomness that is occurring, I guess, in this crazy world we're living in, right?
Yeah.
But you're talking about like, you said drones. That word was kind of highlighted when you said that. If I were to ask you, Brett, what do you think would be the next, I guess, evolution in regards to weaponry when it comes to warfare, or just when it comes to just people using them for weapons in general? Like, what do you think would be the next evolution? When they said we had the tanks when we came to war, we had fully advanced automatic weaponry. What do you think would be the next thing in line? I just want to get kind of your guess.
I mean, Boston Dynamics, I look at the things that they're putting down, and I'm just like waiting for them to come out with that Terminator-esque type soldier, where they look like humans, they're humanoid little things that, we're doing remote control on this. Well, what if they are building algorithms right now that are have the technology on the troops, and they're like live fire, and so it'll be like troops that can go in and clear houses, but it's not really troops, it's just fully robotic. So it's like a human drone basically.
That is crazy, dude. I mean, I've seen too a lot of those videos from Boston Dynamics, right? They're slowly implementing that. I'm sure they're going to use it in modern warfare here, and when we deploy them or whatever, with the soldiers wherever they're at. But the next thing that I've been hearing a lot of buzzing about is drones itself. They're starting to actually slap on C4, like just any type of, I guess, bomb they can detonate within miles in range. Because if you think about it, you can use a decent sized drone, and knowing that how fast they can go, dude, like they're hitting civilians with this stuff. I mean, it's already been proven, like it's already being done. And you come to think about, well, not only one, not only two, but what if like a dozen, a swarm of
Yeah, like
drones
a
like
swarm
hitting,
of drones,
like it's crazy what they're able to do now. But here's something that actually I didn't realize until this gentleman on the Sean Ryan podcast. I'm definitely an avid listener to that podcast, so
Yep.
definitely go check him out. He's an awesome dude. He talks to just different people, right? But there was this gentleman there. I think he's a veteran. He was talking about how Ukraine and Russia right now, they're getting kind of the actual, how would you say, they're like the beta testers in regards to drone technology. And he's saying that one thing that's alarming is that Russia's actually getting very good when it comes to this drone technology. So not only like, they're in the midst of their war right now with Ukraine, but at the same time they're like evolving with their technology drones wise. So it's like, we're only going to see it go further in what they can do with this stuff, and it's crazy. Like it's crazy to think like me and we'd have to be a good shot, right? If we were to see something coming at us, I'm just saying, putting us in a scenario, right? One of those things flying at us at super just fast speeds and being able to maneuver super crazy, like we would have to be super good shots to hit one of those things, right?
Oh
And now
yeah.
you have to think about a dozen of those things swarming around. I'm like, bro, it's kind of a nightmare if you think about it, right? Like that could be the next big thing. Like like forget like shootings or whatever. Granted they still happen and all that, but I mean, if you add drone technology, bro, I mean, think of the stuff that they can do, and they're also using it over there in Mexico too, like the cartels and stuff. Dude, it's insane, man. Like that's one thing that kind of caught my like interest. Like, whoa, it's getting pretty rapid in regards to like how they're utilizing this stuff.
No, it's been terrible. I've seen the reports where Ukraine has been hitting Russia with just swarms of drones as well. Like they're hitting them pretty hard. So they are, definitely like what you said, beta testing this
dude,
this new state of warfare that we're in. I mean, it's insane. But on a lighter note, I was watching Walmart. They have their own delivery drone, and
yes.
Did you see this one play out? This video?
So
yeah, go ahead.
Oh, keep going.
Oh no.
Well, so
yeah,
from the one that the one that I think you're talking about referencing is this one that's like approaching this backyard, and there's like this dog in the backyard, and it just like lets go of this little parachuted package, and it comes floating down, and boom, it just comes like in the backyard. So they're thinking about implementing there, right?
Yeah. But did you? I mean, okay, so I was laughing when I saw that video because that was quite a hard landing. Did you not think?
I was like, boom, boom, boom,
boom. I'm like, man, I hope there wasn't electronics or eggs in that basket.
There goes your brand new I don't know, freaking what is it, Bluetooth headset or Bluetooth speaker you just bought that just got destroyed landing wise.
There went your classic Tupac album.
There goes your 12 what is it? Classic Tupac. There goes your eggs you just bought freshly. It just comes down, poof, just all destroyed. It's like, there you go. Forget having a hard-boiled egg. You're gonna have scrambled today, sir.
The Walmart drone.
Oh man, but it's crazy though, right? We got to that point, right, where we're at that level where things are going to be just parachuting in the back of our yard. I mean, I'm sure there's still going to be people delivering stuff to your front step and all that, but now you're going to have stuff just seeing them flying over, which makes me paranoid now because it's like we don't know if that thing's carrying something else at this point. Well, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to be that.
Data is king, and that they're going to be using it to collect data as well. I mean, you know what I mean? Yeah.
That's crazy. Yeah, man.
I know.
It's insane.
But, speaking of like, weird things in the sky, I have a weird, bizarre story to tell you.
Yes. So this has to do with the lights and all that, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Let's get into it.
The geomagnetic storm.
Yes. Talk about it.
All right. And I swear to God, I'm not lying. I am not lying. This is like, it's
hand on the Bible, right?
I got it. Right.
Oh, he's gonna do it. Oh, You know this is real. We will not joke about that.
It's the new King James, all right?
See, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. You want proof? There's the proof.
Right there. Word to my mom. I came to drop. So all right. So I have
Oh man, so we're serious. All right.
stamped. So I was outside, because I knew that geomagnetic storm was going on, and I was like, wow, we might see the Northern Lights. And I have been just dying to show my family the Northern Lights, because growing up in Montana, I would wait until fall, and the fall time is where your best opportunity to see the Northern Lights takes place. So, you're looking at August, September, around mostly September, maybe it's October. Yeah, I think it's October actually. And it's also, that's when the meteor showers are taking place too. So it's really fun and it's awesome. And that's just some like really beautiful romantic thing I wanted to do with my wife. Well, that was interrupted this time. So
let's hear it.
So now I can't say too much on locations. All I can say is that I'm near a military area. I'm near a military area. I live near a military area. I'm surrounded by military personnel. Oh yeah,
we got interrupted. You froze. We froze.
This is always what happens to us.
Exactly. I was just saying that.
I'm telling you, man, this is so weird. So, wow. Okay. So again, military personnel is all around me. Okay, I live around a lot. The time is around. So it's when the before in the sky, when it looked like it was just a gray cloud. Just a gray, narrow, straight cloud in the sky. It was the beginning of the Northern Lights, but it was just gray. Well, right as it was starting to change color, so around 10:45 Pacific Standard Time, I'm looking up at the sky, and I'm looking over the military area that is near me. And I saw something that was weird. So I'm starting to see the colors, and I'm like, and I'm just about to go inside and get my wife and show her. But something caught my eye. And in the sky. And it was something I've never seen before. And it was something that I haven't even been able to Google to see if anybody else has seen. But I kid you not. So have you ever seen a pool table where the pool balls are racked in that triangle shape?
Yes, it's just like just
a
like that, right?
Of racked balls, right?
Yeah.
That's what I saw in the sky. It was like, but the balls were all translucent, and they were all the size bigger than like a beach ball, like maybe 1.5 times bigger than a beach ball. And it was double the amount of balls that you would see on a pool table, right?
Interesting.
So I think there's like 17 balls, so double that, double the size. And so the size of it was like if you were to take two Chevy Suburbans and go back to back, that's how long this thing was. And anyway, so at first I thought it was a flock of birds flying at night because it was in that formation. It made no noise. It had no lights. It was not manned. It was just a group of spherical balls grouped in a triangle formation, and it was just hovering over the military area, just hovering, like just not, And so I saw that, and I just decided, okay, I'm just gonna watch it because it was descending. So as soon as it went below the house line, then that's when I went in. And but it was the weirdest thing. I'm like, what is that? I could not, and it was just the weirdest thing to talk about because I was like, did I see a UAP, a real UAP? Now, I have never been able to Google, or I have never been able to find anything on Google on what I found. I've seen people that have seen spheres, just singular spheres.
Yeah.
But like again, this thing, it was decent sized, and it was something to where it was at an angle, so I was able to see it. I was able to see the bottom of it, but you could see right through it because it was all see through, but it was translucent. So it was like big old bubbles, you know, blown up, but it was thicker than bubbles. It was just so weird. But anyway, but I couldn't see that it was manned. It didn't look like it was remote controlled. It just looked like it was just on its own, just floating. So anyway, so it was floated down and it descended into the house line. I couldn't see it anymore. And then that's when I went inside and I got my wife. And so I tell her, I said, hey, so I just saw something really weird. I'll tell you about that in a minute. But the main thing is the lights, the northern lights are out. I want you to see how magnificent the sky is looking now. But that's what happened. So yeah, right before the lights, it was like right at. So what I was thinking was, you know, was it military? That's what that's what we've talked about when we've talked about UAPs on this. And just the fact that it was over a military area in my house, I was thinking that, okay. So what I was thinking was, you know, I've seen stories where MIT or somewhere, Massachusetts, some university or some technology, whatever, some whatever school, elite school, they figured out cloaking material.
Yeah.
And what it is just like it you can look at it and see, and it like cloaks. It's able to reflect everything and to where it looks like you're just seeing through, but really you're not. It's just whatever picking up. So I was thinking, my theory on this, because of the timing, it was in the sky the whole time, and they were probably landing it because they realized, oh, these northern lights are throwing off that we can't hide it anymore because it can't shield with the normal sky that you would be normally seeing. So I think it's something that's flying around on a regular basis, but because of that geomagnetic storm and the sky changing into a color that it's never been before, that this translucent thing, the cloaking material, wasn't able to pick up. I think that's the only reason why I was able to see it. So
interesting.
I mean,
dude,
to throw that out there is just that, you know, it was, like I said, hand on the Bible. That's what I saw.
That's insane. So anybody that's watching this, that it's actually a local viewer or listener, if you've seen anything during that time, this was, I want to say, the day before Mother's Day, correct? I forgot what specifically the date was, but I'm horrible remembering dates, people. So sorry, I apologize for that. But
down. It was on May 14th, 2024. It was on
May 14th, 2024. So yes. So now we're talking about
no. I'm sorry. It was on May 10th. May 10th. Friday, May 10th at around 10:40 p.m.
Okay. So
on May 14th. Sorry.
Anybody that saw anything during that time or around that time, that, like my boy said, they'll reach out to us, like leave your thoughts and comments all beneath this video, or shoot us an email too. I'll plug in the email down below when this pops up. So yeah, insane. I remember you sent me vividly that text and told me that you saw something, and my mind kept spinning, like thinking like, holy shit, he just witnessed his own very first UAP. And I'm jealous that, like, I wasn't here. I was out of town. I was over in my hometown during that weekend, but yeah, it's insane. I mean, what if, right? Like, now we have to think about, during this time, maybe they had an interference where now it's so visible and people probably saw something like, wait, am I tripping or am I really seeing something that's there? You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And I could have sworn before, like, because I dig in so much into this sometimes where I'm like just scouring through people's different own, like, when they witness their own, like, sightings or whatever. And I could have sworn I think it was that incident in California a few years back where it was that they saw something at night and they were flashing lights at it, and they said they saw something, but then it was like gone. I forgot, they named the incident. I forgot the name, but I swear it was something like that, what you just mentioned. It was like a triangle, and it was just like a bunch of lights, like they were kind of divided, but it was just like forming a triangle. I forgot the name of it, but it was something like that, and that's the first thing that jumped to mind when you told me that. I'm like, no way.
Well,
but this is what's crazy.
Oh, go ahead.
No, but what's
a video?
No, go for it.
You sent me a video of something flying over some houses in Oregon, and I'm like, that is like, it was flying at that level. It was low.
That's crazy.
I mean, it was low, and that one wasn't making any noise either. That's what the thing that I saw was, that it wasn't making any noise. So, dude, and really, honestly, when I first saw it, so it's now what? It's now Memorial Day, right?
Yeah.
But when I first saw it on May 10th, I was really, really hesitant to even say anything because I'm like,
yeah,
because I already am assuming it's something military. Of course, they're not going to want anybody to talk about some of the stuff that they have. So, I mean, I fully expect to get a knock on my door. That's like one thing that I think about is, them like telling me, you didn't see what you think you saw, or doing something to like wreck my life and destroy my credibility. I mean, that's the government technique and tactic that they take to destroy someone's credibility. So, that's what I fully expected and could still expect. So, if all of a sudden my credibility comes out and it's destroyed and whatever, like,
was missing.
Absolutely a psyop that the government does to ruin that. But I saw what I saw, and I'm not changing anything from what I saw.
That's crazy. No, man. And like I said, it's especially coming from you, right? Like I know you very well for a few years now, and for you to even just say that, like, I don't think it's something that you're just gonna come out and make up saying, hey, Eddie, this is what I saw. No, but it's also crazy during this event that this actually took place. It's like, what are the odds? You know what I'm saying? So it takes something like this to kind of have some type of interference with the technology. Like you said, cloaking technology, people, I'm looking at the camera. Cloaking technology does exist. It's been proven. They have it out there. I mean, there's a video from so many years back. I showed you. It's like it was like an underwater project they were doing, and it was like these waves, and it was creating like a cloaking technology. I'm like, dude, this is crazy. By now, I'm sure they already perfected it where it's 10 or 20 times better now, bro. I'm just saying, like, hey, people, go do your Googles. I'm telling you, this stuff is out there for you to see. We're just the deliverers. We're just the message deliverers.
There is something that is flying around my house on a regular basis, and the only reason I was able to see it was because of that fluke solar storm that we got, and it showed those lights. And so, dude, I mean, it sucks because I was able to take pictures of. So I had my Sony camera. Right?
A6400. Yeah.
Yep. I had that, and I was trying to take pictures of the sky with that one. It sucked. So I didn't. So I had that around my neck, and that's what I had when I saw that. But I was like, "That's not. I'm not even going to take a picture because it just won't show anything." Had I known how good the iPhone pictures turned out, I could have got, even if it was blurry, I could have got it with the iPhone. The iPhone would have captured it because of how well the pictures look. Samsung pictures are even better. I mean, I've seen people taking pictures with their Samsung, and dude, their pictures are so much better than the iPhones. Well, mine's an i12, so mine could be just a little bit older, maybe that.
Yeah.
Whatever. But even with my iPhone, I was still able to get really good pictures, and I just wish that I would have thought of taking picture with my iPhone, because I could have, dude, I only saw it for 10 seconds. I mean, literally when I noticed it, like I said, I thought it was just birds flying at night, and didn't think anything of it until I looked at it and I focused. I'm like, oh my God, those are like translucent balls. Look, that's a triangle. What is that? And I could see through them.
Yeah.
But it only lasted for 10 seconds, dude.
That's insane, man. No, dude, it's I don't think I've ever. The only time that I've ever come close to, we've talked about this in the podcast a few episodes ago, was my incident in Chelan last year, where we were out there by the lake, and we were just kind of, us guys, a couple of my buddies, we were just chit-chatting. Long story short, we looked up at the sky, and there was this just ball like cruising super fast. I'm like, there's no way that's an airplane. There's no way you're telling that's an airplane. And we saw other like flashing lights, like, indicating that is like, it's just obvious that is an airplane or a jet, whatever. But this thing was just glowing white ball and just floating, just like crazy fast. I'm like, dude, what the fuck is that? That was my only thing that's come close. I don't know what it could be. Maybe a drone. I don't know. But to me, it just seemed super out of the norm, right? Like, it just stood out. It just stood out, and it was just cruising along the skylines, dude. So insane. But yours seems to be like, dude.
I wish I would have had a witness. I wish I would have had somebody with me to say,
yeah,
they saw it too. You know what I mean?
Well, maybe we might get somebody to come to the forefront too in around the local area.
Yep.
So if you do, people, please come out, like share your story with us. Maybe you saw the same thing. You're probably thinking like, what the hell was that? I mean, it's a free space here. You know what I'm saying? We're definitely love having input from our viewers and listeners. So drop a comment, like this post or whatever when we release this in the next couple of days, and we'll get back to you and we'll discuss it. So yeah, man, interesting stuff, dude. Interesting stuff, and to go along too with with just the government, right, hiding all this tech or just hiding stuff that obviously they don't want us normal people to fucking know. I mean, we've shared stories before on this podcast about, ranking members in the military that witnessed stuff like this, and they were exposed to it, saw it, talked about it, and they were threatened, saying, you're not going to talk about this, and that's where we're going to leave it at, or else you'll be discharged, and you're not going to get any type of compensation for the service you put in. I mean, it's real stuff, man. This is not a game. Like, there's stuff where like, it just makes you wonder, like, what is it that they're hiding? Why are they hiding it? And how far does the rabbit hole go in regards to, like, how long have we had this type of technology? Like, what type of technology is it? Who do we get it from? Like, just so many questions, right? But anyways, yeah, dude, it's insane, man. It's insane.
That's part of the reason why I'm saying something is because I do feel like our government hides a lot of stuff.
Oh yeah.
But there's a lot of people that are having the courage, that are coming out with information, because I think in a democracy, that's all of us want, is we just want a society where you are not being, the truth isn't being hidden from you, from your government.
Oh yeah.
There was a day and age in this country where, and I think Thomas Jefferson, one of the founding fathers, they said it. They said, a government should be afraid of its citizens, not the other way around.
Amen.
Afraid of being corrupt, afraid of being, afraid of lying to the populace, afraid of being bad and doing, nefarious, being corrupt, all that stuff. But we are now in a state where we are people, like, there's people, I was watching something about the Trump campaign where there's a number of people that are like wealthy individuals, and they have been approached to say, you cannot donate to the Trump campaign or the FBI is going to raid your house. And there's nothing illegal about donating to his campaign, but that is where we are at in this country. And that's the fear that regular law-abiding citizens are faced with right now. They can't even contribute legal, clean money without fear of them getting raided by a weaponized FBI. And that is
crazy.
That is not a democracy. That is not a
democracy. No, hell no.
We are not in a democracy. And if we continue to let this, we continue to be afraid to talk about things that we're seeing and corruption that is taking place, we deserve the country, the banana republic that we are becoming, if we are too afraid to stand up.
I saw this meme, dude. Memes they kind of get straight to the point with the message they're trying to deliver. I saw this meme. It said, like, the Boston Tea Party, like the people fighting against the government when they raise taxes. And then it shows, like, when they raise taxes now, everybody's on their phones just like looking at stuff, like, just so what is it? How would I say this? They're so detached from what's really going on and the truth, just being like fooled, right? Or being their attention span is somewhere else with all this stuff that's happening, all these bills that are being passed, all our privacy rights going just completely down the drain. And back then they were fighting for even the smallest little adjustments or changes they were trying to make. In comparison to now, it's like, we don't care. It's like, go ahead.
I mean, the government has us exactly where they want us. The problem is the capitalism that's involved in this. Big businesses have been so successful with their lobbying efforts to have CEOs making so much money that they have literally taken so much money away from the general public, from our spending power, that Generation Z is now unable to buy homes, buy cars, buy even luxury. Like people, 80% of Americans now deem fast food a luxury item. So the rich have taken so much money away. That disparity has grown so wide that Generation Z, the capitalists are so upset that Generation Z isn't spending money. They're like, they'll put out headlines saying Generation Z not supporting Facebook, Generation Z not doing this, not doing that, not buying homes, not buying cars. And Generation Z is like, dude, you haven't given us any money to buy any of this stuff. We have nothing to spend. We have no money. You have it all.
What money?
Yeah, you are literally
make it make sense, Brett.
everything.
Make it make sense.
Yeah, and so
it's insane, dude.
I mean, I want to say we're at a breaking point, and two, I got to give credit to the Gen Z. They are really waking up. You know, we are millennials. And so we have been blamed for many things, whatever, but Gen Zers, they are the ones that are like, we're not even going to participate. We're not playing a game. So you guys can do whatever you want to do. So they might be the generation that helps, that is the catalyst to getting this fixed, because they have already said that they're not down with the UBI. They're like, no, we're not doing universal. We're not going to be welfare recipients for the government because of your reckless behavior and endangerment of our economy. So try again. So
yeah.
So, you know, we just see it so many times where people attack other generation. Oh, the boomers did this. The millennials did this. Not me. I'm saying we're all in this together. And I'm
exactly. That's the main point.
Younger generation for having their eyes open and being aware of what is going on.
Oh, for sure, dude. I want to touch on this because I thought it was the most G thing I've seen. It was like, I was like, he would say something like that when Donald Trump went down to the Bronx, the hood.
Yeah.
He brought out those rappers, right? I don't know who they were. I've never heard of them, but you brought them up, right? And he's like, I like those I like those diamond teeth. I need to give me some of those.
Yeah. Did he really say that? No way. No way. That is amazing.
Dude, and there's like AI generated like pictures of Donald Trump like at the barbecue, like, you know, with everybody there just enjoying like, you know, what is it, barbecue chicken and all this stuff. I'm like, dude, I'm like, it's great. Nobody, I think there was only been one president aside from him that's actually gone down to the Bronx, but he's one of them. I think that's what I was reading. I'm not sure if that's actual factual, but I mean, hey, you see the numbers are out there, man. They're supporting him, dude.
Yeah. That's the thing.
That's straight up, man.
You know, I mean, how desperate should Biden be, you know, feel when his rival is going into the bluest of the blue area and they're showing him love? Like,
yeah, that's truth. I mean, it's there.
Oh, yeah, man. But I mean, you know, it's just, everybody knows where I stand with Biden, so I don't even I don't want to even feed into it. But
oh, dude, I'm surprised he's still functioning at this point, bro. I mean, there's clips out there. You know, people can see them for themselves. I'm like, homeboy's not all there. I'm sorry, but something's keeping him going to this point, bro. I'm just saying, dude. Like, to me, it just seems like he's not all there.
I was watching. They were talking about, you know, the black vote, right? And they're like, Democrats have always used the black vote and said, yeah, that's, you know, it's a shoe in for us. We always get the black vote or whatever. And well, they were talking to black voters about Donald Trump. They were like, are you really going to vote for a criminal? You know, here he is doing all these bad things. And they're like, we actually don't think that that he is as bad as you guys. You guys are crucifying him publicly, and that's what you guys do to us all the time. So
yeah,
we actually are riding with him. and it is just putting the fear of God in a lot of those Democratic strategists right now. It's
Yeah.
It's gonna be interesting this year, man.
It is. It is going to be interesting. I'm looking towards the debate though. They officially said it's going to be a debate, but I honestly think at this point they should kind of have it more on an independent like grounds. I think who was it? Somebody Alex Friedman said that he would want to be like the moderator of that debate, or
Nah,
somebody like from the
Joe
podcast or
Rogan.
something like that.
Yeah,
Was it Joe
give it to
Rogan?
Joe Rogan.
Yeah, I think so. I think that's a better option. Yeah,
Because
that'd be dope.
he's done his fair share of bashing Trump. He's done his fair share of bashing Biden.
Yeah.
He's never, he's never really been one to pick sides. He's clowned them both equally, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, it'll be interesting though. Nonetheless, it'll be interesting. But brother, let's move on to the next subject where things are unfolding to a point where we thought we never see in regards to this individual. We talked about this on the past previous episode. Go check that out, where we just kind of like broke down kind of like the incident that happened between Puff and Cassie. But with you, brother, since we talk about this because when we're fans of music overall, at the height, I believe, of rap and hip hop during the late '90s, early '90s, I guess you could say, between the both camps, right?
Yeah.
But it's very interesting how things are coming to light. And I say that because for the longest time, for me, again, this is coming from my own two eyes on the perspective side of things, right? We're talking about like, in comparison to Suge Knight and Puff Daddy, P. Diddy. Shook would be more like just seeing him more of like a dude that just would be looked at as more of the person that we should be called, I guess, the boogeyman, right? That's kind of how people were kind of seeing him. He was like the dude, the aggressor. Pretty much like he demanded the respect as soon as he stepped into the room that he was stepping into. But then, lo and behold, Puff was looked at more kind of like the dude that was just like on the videos. Was just like the right hand man to Big at the time, all this stuff. His hands were clean. So at that point, we thought, right?
He was the pretty boy of rap.
Yes. So fast forward, CNN dropped the bombshell. The video released of him, physically abusing Cassie at what it seemed that I think it was at a hotel that they were staying at or whatever. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know the specifics of it. Yeah. So it's in Los Angeles. But bro, like, so a lot of things came to mind, right? Like the more that I kind of like just kind of analyze, just sitting thinking myself, like, they had this video for how long? I want to say this happened in 2018, correct? 2018,
wasn't it?
2016 or so. Okay, so 2016. I think you're right. But so many years in between from then till now to where, the question for me was, I mean, right when I saw him, like, so why did it take this long for them to even release this? And was this one of the tapes that they obtained at one of the raids that they found, when they went and looked through one of his homes in Miami? And it's like, if that's the one thing they found, how many other things are kept behind closed doors and in the closet? See what I'm saying? Because there's a lot of stuff, man. And Jaguar Wright. That's the name of the lady that was talking about how she had a lot of, I would say, inside scoop of the stuff that he had is kind of what Diddy's hands were in regards to all just pretty messed up things, if you want to say, right? Yeah. But I mean, dude, what do you think overall though? Because I sent it to you, I was like, yo, it's over for homeboy, you know what I'm saying? And you saw it and you just kind of gave me like your, like not too much of an opinion, because obviously we want to say this stuff for the pod, because it's like, it's so hard to hold on to stuff. Yeah. So we can have a genuine reaction conversation when it comes to doing a podcast episode when we all get together. But since we're here now, well, what do you think, bro? Like, what do you think after you saw that video?
Well, it reminded me how quick he paid Cassie off when there was that lawsuit. I mean,
30 mil.
You're talking, that was probably record time of paying some
a day, one day.
And
30 million, dude.
We see why. Because that was bad. I mean, that was brutal. And there were so many people who took Diddy's side on this and told, made Cassie sound like she was just out there for the money. No, she was doing her best to stay strong and make a name and a career for herself. She knew that it would be career suicide if she went against the biggest name of
a mogul. They say like hip hop mogul, right?
She
Yeah.
knew. I mean, it's a death sentence for your career if you do that and you can't back it up. So, you know, so I am so glad that this finally came out and that she is justified in, I mean, she's earned every penny she got from him and more. And I think that, you know, we've talked so many times. I mean, this is where women, we've seen a lot of fake false accusations made. And that's terrible.
Mm-hmm.
But there has to be a way for these types of crimes to be taken seriously. You know, if you've got this kind of thing, for instance, Puffy paid allegedly he paid $50,000 for this tape to be given to him. So there's that, to me, is a lawsuit and a half. If you know that a crime is taking place and you're willing to accept a bribe of $50,000, they should be on the hook. I mean, this should be a multi-million-dollar lawsuit for this hotel to face for hiding evidence, for getting rid of and tampering with evidence. That is evidence of a violent assault by a rich man. Someone who was on the level of Epstein. I mean, allegedly. but I mean, there's so many things. I mean, because, you know, also there was other allegations that he was trying to pimp out Danity Kane members. You know?
Oh, I got something. Yeah, I got something on that real quick.
Okay, good.
So if people don't remember, and even me, I forgot about that because Danity Kane was one of those groups where they came up with a single at that point. It was so many years ago, right? And they kind of just disappeared, right?
Band, right? That's how.
Yes, I think so. But one of the girls tried to come out, and she's still out here saying that she's seen herself witness a bunch of shady stuff going on, like at his parties, or just know stuff about Diddy. And exactly what you said, right? A lot of people don't want to, like, you know, say something because they're scared in retaliation of what Diddy would do to their careers.
Right.
She said it verbatim, dude. So she's one of those people that actually said the very same things you're saying.
Yep.
And it's like, come on, man. For me, again, I'm just kind of looking at it from my end, right? A lot of red flags, bro. A lot of red flags. Not only that, but like if you have a lot of people saying stuff like, you know, or like, there's okay, for example, you're saying, right, the $50,000 that he paid for the tape, that itself alone should be a red flag. Like, not only did he pay for that to be kind of kept away from the limelight, but now you have to look at that itself. You're paying somebody to kind of cover up for evidence for a crime that that you happen to take place in. And what other things, what other moments has he done this to her to where we don't know about? Or there might be some evidence too. And they also said they found like 250 cameras in his house. Like, why?
Right.
Why?
So,
like, dude, you have to think about that stuff. Like,
we'll
come
get
on,
to
man.
that. I haven't got to that yet. But what I'm doing is I'm just leading up to it. And the next one I want to talk about is the young lady that got shot in the face that pointed to Puffy being the shooter. Shine was handed the gun.
Yes.
His career was over, and he was deported. Okay. Two lives were destroyed that day. You know, that girl got shot in the face, and, you know, all of the evidence pointed to Diddy being the shooter, right? And then he, you know, I mean, J-Lo, she obviously knew something and didn't say anything, so she's on the hook.
Yeah.
You know, Shine was in a point. Now J-Lo was big. She didn't need Diddy. She went to Affleck. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So she went to that baseball player, you know,
Mark Anthony too.
Something like that. Yeah. Mark Anthony. So but, you know, so she is on the hook for this stuff. I mean, there's so many people that saw things that didn't say anything. But Shine, you know, Shine lost everything. But he was in the position where he did not want to lose a career. And so he's like, all right, I'll take the charge. I'll do this or whatever, allegedly, right? But so there's that. and then, never mind the stuff with the whole Biggie leaving him behind, running that red light, knowing that there was danger. Keefy D being arrested and pointing the whole time to Diddy's involvement with $1 million check written from that record label, and ended up giving it to Zip, and Zip kept it all for himself, right? Allegedly. But all this stuff that I'm saying is all alleged, but it's funny that it just all points to one person. And now we're starting to see evidence. So where we're at now, right? He's had 2 homes raided. Now, I've heard mixed reports where he had a 3rd home in New York, but I've heard, how could that home not be raided and the other 2 were? So I don't know. There may have been another raid that didn't even get reported. Who knows? But the fact is that, they're talking about cameras in every room. They're talking about pastors being involved, politicians, big names. And if he was on an Epstein level where he was keeping all this tape. Now, here's the thing we saw with Epstein. There were allegedly so many people that were on these tapes of big names that the FBI, there was no way they were going to let him see a day in court. And so I think that's where, he, the official reporting is that it was suicide, but I think there's more to that story. So I think this is where, if we lived in a just system and an honest system and an unbiased and uncorrupt, bought and paid for justice system, this time that is taking to scour through this evidence and through those videotapes, if that's what they have, prosecutors are working on an airtight case to seal this man's fate for life. But if he got the right type of people in there talking about politicians that have connections to the Department of Justice, the DOJ, people that know people, then he may never, ever see a day in court because of getting that type of evidence. And then, he played the system the way that it was taught. Someone taught him how to play the system that way. He did not know how to do it. Someone taught him the ropes to this game. So that's where we're at. This is, it's a 50-50 shot. If you have someone who's honest, Puff will never see the light of day again. If he gets people that are bought and paid for, then he'll never see a day in jail. But his career is over. It's over.
Oh, dude. With that being said, right? A lot of people like Stephen A. Smith, a bunch of people, man, I've already said, they really just want to cut ties with him. Like at this point, it's already kind of, the cards are kind of like falling down at this point. You know what I'm saying? So it's now the waiting game in regards to how they're going to pursue this, right, in court, or what's going to happen after this, right? But I feel like there's more stuff going to come out, dude, in due time. I think there's a lot more stuff going to come out. And what's going to be, like you said, legal status wise, right? Like, are they gonna hold like a massive trial for him, like they were doing with Epstein or whatever, to where they're gonna seal this man's fate? Is he even gonna get like a time sentence, whatever? Like you said, keeping in regards of the connections he might have, we don't know. But yeah, man, it's funny to me. This is where it kind of it just makes him look stupid, because during the height where people were coming out with all these allegations or coming out with all these conspiracies, whatever you want to say, he had the audacity to say that this was all kind of like a thing to kind of dirty his name in a post on Instagram, talking about how, all this stuff is because they just want to dirty his name, that they're, all these things that they're saying about him are lies, blah, blah, blah. And lo and behold, this video comes out. I'm like, what an absolute idiot. Well, then he comes out with this whole thing, like him apologizing how he's done wrong. He's going to therapy. I'm like, you're a clown, bro. Like,
beyond therapy.
At that point, just keep your mouth shut. Don't even say anything. You know, it's like if the truth came out already, just don't say anything. You're just making yourself look more stupid as the days go by. It's like, man, it's a joke. It's just a joke, you know, because he just flat out lied at that point, you know?
Yep. No, his so-called apology when he put that out, that's where his narcissism was on full display. There was no question in my mind that this man is so desperate for attention, but is so unapologetic about anything that he's ever done. The only thing he's sorry about is that he's been caught and that ties are being cut, that he's losing money, and that he's being seen in a negative light now. That's what he's sorry about. But he's not sorry about punching no girl in the face and kicking her and, you know, doing all that stuff. I mean, he like that, bro. I've seen my mom get punched in the face before, you know, in a marriage that she was at, and there is just nothing like seeing a defenseless woman get rocked by a full-size man. There's no competition. There's nothing. What gives Puff this, like, is it power? What would give him satisfaction to do that to someone who is so defenseless? I mean, she's so small. She's like 10 of her couldn't take one of him. It was the overpowering and overbearingness and just the overkill that was horrific to watch. And you could just see the fear. You could see why she was afraid to say anything.
Yeah, man. It was crazy, bro. It was crazy, man. It was crazy.
Talk about, you know, him being compared to Suge Knight. You know, Suge Knight just fit the stereotypical model of, you know, a hardened, you know, like rough hip hop mogul. You know, he just fit the stereotypical model. I mean, he was just like, yo, this is what I'm about. If I got to hang you over a balcony for some points, then that's what I'm going to do. You know what I mean?
Allegedly.
And everybody understood. Now, you know, it was dark when he went on Jimmy Kimmel and was doing the old jabbing, you know, the AIDS needle thing. That was cringe, right? I was like, dude, Suge, shut up. That's weird. That is so cringe, right? But
yeah, that's pretty wild.
Was just real sly and sneaky and slimy about it. And just, I mean, just bizarre, dude. It was bizarre.
Yeah. So one of the things too that I found very you know, just we're talking about this right now. You know, we've talked about we brought up the name Gene Deal. Gene Deal, for anybody that doesn't know, was head of security for Puff back in those days, and Bad Boy during the time where Big was still here with us and all that stuff, right? And one of the things he was saying that was surprising. I'm like, if that is indeed true, that would be like the second nail in the coffin for Puff. And he was saying that one of the interviewees that was interviewing him, they were like, do you think they would be able to link, like, would you be surprised if they linked Pac's murder to Puff if they really do like a deep investigation? And Gene straight up said it. If they follow a paper trail and they follow the money, bro, I wouldn't be surprised. He's like, I would not be surprised if they tie in that with him and he would get charged for that as well. I'm like, damn.
I have said this before. FBI.
That is crazy.
FBI was watching Tupac at this time. The night that he got killed, he was under FBI watch. The feds
That's
were
crazy.
So it wouldn't be hard to figure out real quick the connection to Zip and Keefy D and Diddy. I mean, it wouldn't be hard. They were already watching Pac. It's a pivot.
Yeah.
They had the resources. They had the capabilities. They just chose not to. But Gene Dill's right. The paper's there. The paper trail is there. So,
oh, man, it would be so dope to try to get him on, man. You know, that's one thing, like in the back of my mind, it would be just cool to get him on because he seems like a pretty like straightforward dude where, I mean, I'm sure he would have a price to do something, but like, you know, probably have to have him just do audio only and just, you know, have to plug him in and just kind of ask him questions. But dude, just to like talk to this man, hear from his perspective, like about just at the height and peak between East and West, like how he felt in that moment, but all this stuff. But anyways, yeah, it would be dope to have him on the pod, man. But yeah, it's he's a very interesting cat because even me, man, I remember like I was like I think last year or 2 years ago, I would talk to you about like the stuff that he was talking about, how he knew like Puff was shady. Like here's a man that was his sole duty was to watch over this man's back, literally sacrifice his own life if need be for this man here. And he himself is saying that this dude's like pretty much a snake. Like he was just not a good person overall. So if you have that person saying this, like what does not make me believe? It's like, okay, there's something going on here. You know what I'm saying? So yes, for some people go check out some of his stuff out just to kind of get your own wind of like his issue with Puff and all that stuff and with everything's going on. But yeah, man, it's a trip, man. It's a trip, and we'll definitely keep everybody posted too on as this goes on and what new intel we get in regards to just this whole situation and how it's gonna play out. But it's nonetheless, man, it's crazy, bro. It's very crazy.
I gotta ask you, who's next? Who's next?
Who's next?
Assuming
I mean,
Puffy's sealed, and
dude. I mean, look, man. Here on this podcast, we talk about everything, right? I mean, just whatever we come across and we find of interest, it's just like, damn, like this is really like, it just mind blowing to me that this is coming to the front of our table and just be like for us to discuss. But the other name that's being thrown around is Jay-Z, right? Like that's the other individual that they're really like. But it's crazy though because before all this, right? Like just keeping this aside for now, like for a brief second, I swear you were like, while like, isn't it crazy? Like, just Jay's been so quiet like a mouse ever since this whole Puff thing's been going on. Like, we really haven't heard anything. Like, they might be like super low key people, like him and Beyonce and all that. Like, aside from Beyonce releasing her country debut album, whatever. But like, just them in general, like, there's nothing much been like here going on, like within the tabloids or just news in general, right, coming out about him. But Jaguar, right, I'm only relaying this to her because she's the one that's being really outspoken about this stuff, and a lot of her clips come up on the algorithm on my end to where she talks about like there's a lot of stuff going on too with involving this gentleman, according to her, allegedly, right? So man, I mean, he's even in the mix too. So it's like, dude, what is going on, dude? Like the two biggest the FBI is listening, bro.
There we go.
I'm telling you, man. This ain't a coincidence, people. If anybody's been a watcher of our Zoom podcast episodes, I think I might have clipped it though, because I mean, editing wise, I have to clip it, but. Me as being a witness, it's crazy how it just freezes every time we talk about just stuff that's kind of like
maybe
having to do with the ABCs.
That's all we talk about.
It's what the people want. Okay, people. It's what the people want and what they demand. So that we got to deliver to them. You know what I'm saying?
What if the simple answer was that I just have bad internet?
It could be that he's running off his neighbor's Wi-Fi.
One of my favorite memes, Alex Jones, right? Alex Jones conspiracy. He goes, hold on, let's see if I can find it real quick. I don't think it happened. He goes, Alex Jones, it shows like the picture of like where he's faced this way, and then there's another of it like kind of semi invisible or whatever, and it faces another angle, and it's him with his shirt off, and him just looking.
Oh, dude.
And he goes, my favorite conspiracy is that it's gonna be all right.
Oh, dude,
it's gonna be all right. That's my favorite conspiracy.
Jones, dude.
No, we know
man. I'm glad that he's got his own platform and on X that he's actually given the reign to do post whatever or live stream whatever. I swear, dude, X is becoming like the one-stop shop for everything at this point. I think that's kind of like what the initiative or what the main objective was. I remember Elon Musk talking about how he wants to make X like the one-stop shop for everything, live stream, posting, you name it, everything there. And it's crazy because like they were saying, like I guess the reason behind X, because they're saying X marks the spot, like it's everything there. It's like
well,
crazy, dude. Elon
Musk has always had a connection with X. I mean, X.com was PayPal when it was the beginning, and so he's always liked his X. You know, he's got the X model Tesla, so
Yes,
you
yes,
know he's
yes,
got some sort of infatuation with the letter X. I don't know what it is, but
dude.
and I hope
Oh,
nothing crazy comes out with him.
oh, hopefully not, dude. Hopefully not. He's like I said, he's like the actual real life Tony Stark, dude. He's just a genius,
I
dude.
know he's my
But
favorite autistic man.
um, did you see that episode with the actor on Joe Rogan? The the dude's like a freaking genius. Like he was talking about this stuff. I'm like,
Are you
my
talking
brain
Terrence
is like,
Howard?
yes,
I have not got to see that yet,
dude.
but it's been all
So
over
many
my
clips
algorithm. Really?
everywhere, bro, everywhere. Like, I mean, one of the things I could take from that, just kind of discuss it on the pod here, is he was talking about how this is like an augmented reality. Like somehow it's like two. Like he was talking about how just pretty much this
Simulation.
isn't real. And I was like, it's a simulation, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And he was going into depth about how, like, there's could be alternate versions. I've heard this before. I mean, this theory before, whatever, conspiracy, whatever you want to call it. How
Yeah.
there's many versions of you and many versions of me, that they're all kind of stacked up in between on top of each other. So like there's something happening similar to what's happening now somewhere else. And he was explaining on how, and I'm like, dude, I just can't wrap my head around it. Like I just can't wrap my head around in general how much of this galaxy there still is. Like when you think about it, like this expands millions and billions and just trillions. Like
Yeah.
it goes to infinite. So like just him talking about that, it's like, man, there could be another me. It couldn't be another you somewhere out there.
Oh yeah, dude. We're on like there is a rich version of us somewhere out there.
Oh, dude,
You
just
know?
living life on their yachts, dude, just
Like
enjoying life.
exactly. Like Ice Cube always used to say, I got a mansion and a yacht.
Oh, by the way, he's gonna be here in Everett, dude.
Oh, oh really?
He's gonna be at the what was at one point the Comcast Arena, the Xfinity Arena.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Tickets are $55, dog. If you want to go see some West Coast legends. Yeah.
Oh man, yeah, you know.
Chicken yourself.
Push rhymes like white. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Dude, I got nothing but love for Cube. I just think I do think that when Tupac came on the scene though, Cube and Snoop got real salty. Like the both of them when Pac's name comes up, they get real salty with them. They play it off like, oh no, it ain't no big.
Yeah.
But I mean, Cube, when he was telling the world that, like, you know, that Hit 'Em Up wasn't the hardest diss song ever because he had to have help. No, he did not have to have help. You know, he was talking about his diss record, No Vaseline, was harder than Hit 'Em Up.
Yeah.
No, bro, it's not. It just
Yeah. Okay.
I give you props. You're the Godfather. You know, like you paved the way for so many. You paved the way for.
Oh, dude.
There's no doubt about that. But Pac did run with that baton, and he Hit 'Em Up was 10
Executed.
times harder than No Vaseline. And
Yeah, he executed it
was
perfectly,
not
dude.
help. He didn't need help, and you know it. You know that, Cube. You know it, bro. And
Give credit when credit's due. You know what I'm saying?
I'm just
No, man.
saying,
He's
like, ego is a hell of a drug, but you know,
and I
still
think it's like from the
I still
competitive
respect
nature.
what he's doing. Like he's real. Like, you know, the industry has tried to blackball him, shut him out just because he wouldn't do the you know what, you know, during the pandemic. But and so I just think when it comes to Pac, he's way off. He's way off. Snoop too. When it comes to Pac, Snoop is way off. But I think Snoop, there's more character flaws in that young man.
Yeah, yeah, man. But no, yeah, I think Ice Cube in his own way though, dude, he did a lot more than just being, what is it, an artist, rapper. He became a director, a screenwriter. I mean, dude, he thought outside the box, right? Like he gave us classics, Friday After Next, Next Friday, Boys in the Hood. I think no, did he write that one? Boys in the Hood, right? He did do that one.
He was in it. Well,
he was in it. I don't think he wrote.
He was in it.
Okay, but he was an actor too, right? So
that was. I think he just Jerry Curl.
Yeah, he was. I mean, he did a lot for him, like thinking outside the box. Not knowing that like people would think that he would just be a rapper, just alone, a standalone rapper, but he did things that was just crossing different waves. And I mean,
Wow.
dude, at the end of the
Big
day, he
three.
became a very successful individual, dude.
Big
So kudos to
three.
him, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's what I'm
for
saying.
real.
No,
So
hey, no, I'm serious. I almost the West Side Connection, when they released their second album, I think it was Terrorist Threats is the name of the album, I think.
yeah.
But they were supposed to perform in Bozeman, Montana, and we drove all the way out to Bozeman to see them, West Side Connection.
Yeah.
And we get to the venue and it says canceled. So we drove all the way. We drove like 4 hours to go see him, and it was canceled. I was so.
How'd you feel?
Dude, I was crushed, man. I was.
Oh, dude, you're like, you threw away your Ice Cube CDs and all that.
No. I was just like, I was like, man, they don't like the country boys. Yeah.
Oh, dude, did they ever make up like a date?
Anyway.
Did they give you like a makeup date? Like, did he ever come back or anything like that?
No.
Damn, dude.
Yep.
What was it? So this was supposed to be like at an event center, or like where was this going to take place
It was a
at?
concert. It was like a venue. It was like
Oh, really?
Thing. And then yeah, we get out there and boom, they're gone. There was supposed to be other people too, and
that sucks,
the
dude.
whole thing. Yeah, I was bummed.
Damn.
You know,
hey, we can get redemption, bro, if you want to go to the one here locally. I want to say it's next month. I'm not sure, and it's on a Friday, I believe. But I actually brought it up to my wife, and she said she would be down to go. I was like, I kind of brought it up as like, oh, hey, I was gonna be here.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, we should go. I'm like, I mean, it's local, it's close by. I mean, it's like 5 minutes away from where we're at. I mean,
no,
for
I
me,
know a lot of people that have been. I mean, dude, Everett's been getting a number of pretty decent acts coming in. I guess 50 here recently. I know.
I think in Seattle, maybe, right? Tacoma.
No, he was in Everett. He was in Everett.
Really?
Or maybe he's going to be, but yeah, he was.
I would go for that.
He already.
I would go for that.
I think he already did. So he did it, and he's been here like who's I think 112. I think 112. There was some R&B act. They were a big name. People that I listened to. I think
112. Yeah.
They were up there. Someone
peaches and cream.
It was yeah. Right, dude, that was right. I still have 112 albums. You know, they're in CD in the garage somewhere stashed, but
I was gonna say that's the baby making playlist for Friday nights.
Man, I'm over those days.
It all goes out through your phone now. This is it right here. That's all it is.
The best I'm gonna get is like, man, I don't have to pay. All my bills are paid. My kids are staying over at a friend's house. My wife's working. I just got this long road to myself. I'm just gonna drive in peace and just put in some 112. You know, my life is simple, man. My life is simple, bro.
Oh fuck, man!
I always got that Ford Taurus tail in me. You know, I'm like, man, why is that Ford Taurus always following me?
Right.
You know.
You get pulled over, like, sir, what is that you listen to? Oh, it's
no, I never get pulled over. They just follow me all the time. You know? It was just like wherever I turn, they turn. You know.
Oh man, but yeah, you're right, man. I mean, we'll see. Yeah, so we might go. I don't know yet. So definitely, well, if we do, we'll definitely talk about it on the pod, you know, and we'll discuss. But I heard he's a good performer overall. Like in the comments, where I saw like the link or the announcement of it, like people were saying like he throws like a phenomenal show. So yeah, well, we'll see. So definitely,
cool,
we'll keep you updated on that.
That's cool. I think that'll be cool. If you do go, I want to know about it. I don't think I'll go.
Yeah.
You know, just because it's just not where I'm at in life. You know, I've kind of put that side of me to bed. You know, it's like
you put it in the covers
I'm the
already.
Responsible father, and I can't, like, what am I going to be telling my family? I'm going to some hip hop gangster rap show. You know what I mean? And we're just talking about. You know, no, that's those days are over for me.
So to revisit the golden era at least one night for one night only. You know what I'm saying?
Right. I mean, and you know, and it crushes. Like I've got my best friend. that I grew up with, and it was just, like he's still all about that. And he sent me an invite to Vegas one time, and he's like, "Yeah, man, Lil Jon's gonna be there, Usher's gonna be there, you know,
Yeah.
or whatever, all these rappers that we grew up, you know, in the early 2000s listening to." And I'm just like, bro, I got to babysit that night. Like, we got to go over Sunday school notes for the kids. No, bro, I'm busy.
Also just something right off rip. The Wu-Tang Clan have residency in Las Vegas now too.
Wow.
Yeah, that's crazy, bro. I was like, really?
It'll be good
crazy.
for the young.
The Wu.
Yeah. All about the cream. Cash rules everything around me. Cream.
Classic. Yeah, classic, dude. Can't go wrong with these, man.
I miss ODB, man. I miss ODB.
There's a lot of like stories about him that I still hear every now and then from people that have crossed paths with him that are just like, the dude never really changed off or on the camera. He was always just the same person that we would see. Like if we were seeing him down the block over here, it's like, oh man, when you hear stories like that, it's like, damn, dude, it seemed like the dude was a straight down to earth dude, didn't change because of the fame or nothing, just stuck to his guns and just was always was what he was, you know. It's like, damn, dude, what a G, man, what a G.
I know.
So yeah, so let the Wu live forever, like they say, you know what I'm saying?
So who, like, how many members are doing it down there, are going down to Vegas?
I'm not sure who exactly. I mean, I'm sure it's all like the Red Man. Is it Method Man? And is it RZA?
RZA.
Is it RZA? Who else?
Ghostface Killah.
Ghostface too. He's also releasing a new album too. Ghostface Killah is releasing a new album, I heard. So yeah, that's good. It's like the guest list on that is crazy. I'm like, damn, if this is a real one, I'm gonna have to check this out. So yeah, I think, but those are the prominent members, right? Those are going to be the ones that are going to be, you know, at the residency. So, and I heard too that it was a good show. So damn,
I hope they can bring Redman out every now and then too, because Redman was another favorite of mine. Gosh, even to this day, I can still listen to Redman.
Yeah, forever. His episode of Cribs will live in my heart and live in my memory forever, because this dude was as true as they come, and even said that they were trying to give him a house so they could pretend that it was his crib, but he's like, nope, I want to show you my real house, where I stay and how it is. And it was like an apartment or a condo. I'm like, bro, and to this day, that's like the #1 most like viewed crib, or just like people like bring it up and ask him about it. And then like years later, I don't know if you saw, but he renovated the whole thing, and it's like super clean, super just like has an actual studio in there. It's like, it's crazy, man. It just shows you, right? What was that?
Same spot?
Same spot. Same spot.
Oh man,
dude. So he never really gave it up. He's always lived there, and he's just like, I mean, he's like, well, I mean, in his eyes, I kind of, from what he said, it's like, why would I want something more if this is enough here? Like, I just don't. Why,
dude? Like, you know, I had this for a while. I had this lifelong goal of buying the house that I grew up in. That was just, I mean, I've showed you that house, right? I
don't think you did. I don't think you did.
I got to show you. It's this bad, dude. This is like the house was built in 1900, and how it's still standing, I have no idea. But it's like, that's what made me, right? That neighborhood. There was a cult up the street that was trying to like lure kids in. I mean, I could tell you all kinds of stories about that neighborhood. It was so bad. Well, anyway, so I was like, you know, I always had this weird dream of, I'm just going to buy that house and I'm going to make it the nicest house on the block, you know? It was like, if I had like ungodly amount of money, right? I would deliberately make it the nicest house so that whoever lived in that house would have everything they wanted, you know? But I just went by the other day and I looked at it, and you know, it's obviously in the bad part of town. Well, now they have like right around the corner, they have this like probation or parole building where all the felons go. just right around the corner. They built this
What
new
are the odds?
facility, and I'm like, oh man, the neighborhood got worse. I mean, it looks so bad, bro. I'm gonna show you. Like, I'm gonna send you a link, and I'm just gonna say, dude, check out this neighborhood. This is so bad. But I mean, it's worse than when I grew up in it. Because like when I grew up, it was poor, but like now it's like really bad. It's so bad right now.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah, show me. I'm interested. I'm curious. I'm curious now. But man, maybe one day, bro, one day when this all pops off, you'll be able to cop it and just it'll be under your name and you'll own it and then resell it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I mean,
I'll
hey,
go
real
down
estate
and
always goes up,
have it
right?
changed, have the street name changed. Brett Street.
Right. Oh, I love it. I love it.
Swinging.
Well, brother, I mean, do you want to land this jet? Do you think this is good enough for this episode? I mean, I know it was one of those things where we definitely wanted to come through and at least make something for the lovely people for them to view or listen to. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, unless you have something else you want to bring to the forefront, by all means, brother.
No, I mean,
but if you want to call it good,
I always like the episodes that when we can get all three of us, the three amigos,
for sure.
on it. So it's always it's always tough when either I can't show up or Brad's not showing up.
Yeah.
And so whatever. So this is what I got to give for that.
No worries, man.
But the fact that we did it, we connected, we through the odds. I mean, we may have not even connected. So for that, we're gonna give it the air horn. Yeah, baby.
So we came through regardless, though, man. We came through regardless, so it's all good. I mean, this is the beauty of technology, right? That we can do this stuff at least at bare minimum and work with what we got. So I mean, people will enjoy it. I hope people enjoy it. So we'll be back though. We'll be back at La Casa next weekend. But we're gonna sign out. For just a reminder for anybody that loves our content. You love what you see. You love what you hear. Do us a solid. Go follow us on YouTube, Beyond Expedition Podcast, or make it easier for yourselves. Down below is our name on our Instagram for Beyond Expedition Podcast, where you'll find everything latest and greatest in regards to the podcast. Direct links in our bio, where it'll take you everywhere we're available. All mainstream platforms like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, from radio, you name it, we're there and we're live. So go check us out. But we're gonna sign one out. Take care. We'll catch you next one. Hopefully you're having a fantastic day when this drops. Till then, peace.
God bless America.